Hey everyone, and welcome to another deep dive. We love to explore the absolute cutting edge. And today we're diving into the future of supply chains.
A future powered by AWS.
Exactly. AWS for supply chain managers and IT professionals. That's our guidebook today. A fascinating read by Zenson Tran.
It really is.
It's packed with insights into how AWS cloud solutions can make supply chains smarter and more agile.
And more efficient.
Definitely. So if you're prepping for that big meeting, trying to stay ahead of the curve, or just curious about the power of AWS, this deep dive is for you.
It really is for everyone because so many people think of AWS as purely for IT,
Yeah,
but it's actually revolutionizing the entire supply chain industry.
absolutely. So first things first, let's break down this whole cloud computing thing. Imagine a world where you don't need to own and maintain your own power plant to have electricity. Instead, you just plug into the grid
Right.
and get all the power you need. That's basically what cloud computing is for technology.
Perfect analogy. With cloud computing, you don't need to invest in tons of physical servers and data centers. You simply rent computing power and storage from providers like AWS, accessing it all through the internet.
So it's like having a giant virtual IT department at your fingertips,
Right.
ready to scale up or down as needed.
Exactly.
I'm already sensing a major efficiency boost here.
Absolutely. Think about it. You can instantly scale your operations up or down without worrying about hardware limitations. Let's say you have a flash sale coming up and you anticipate a huge spike in orders, maybe a 300% increase.
Wow.
With AWS, you can handle that surge seamlessly. No website crashes, no delays,
Happy customers.
increased revenue.
That's what I'm talking about. Now, Zenson Tran highlights Amazon S3 as this ultimate digital warehouse for all your supply chain data. Can you break down what these S3 buckets are all about?
Sure. Picture a massive secure hard drive on the internet where you can store any kind of digital file imaginable.
Okay.
Product catalogs, inventory records, shipping documents. Those are your S3 buckets.
Okay, so it's like taking those mountains of paper files
Yes,
and organizing them into neat labeled folders in a giant virtual warehouse.
exactly. But here's the thing. S3 lets you control who has access to what information with incredible precision. It's like having a super sophisticated security system for all your data.
Oh, wow.
You can also set up automatic policies to manage your data efficiently. For example, you can automatically move older data to cheaper storage tiers,
Smart.
or even delete it after a set time if it's no longer needed. This keeps things organized, saves you money.
Wait, automatically delete data? That sounds a bit risky.
Not at all. Think of it as spring cleaning for your data.
Okay.
You don't keep every piece of paper you've ever written on.
Try. True. So S3 is about making sure you have the right information at your fingertips when you need it.
Precisely.
Yeah.
And now let's add another layer of efficiency to the mix, real-time tracking.
Hold on, real-time tracking. Are we talking about putting a GPS tracker on every single package now?
Not exactly on every package, but think GPS on your delivery trucks, temperature sensors in shipping containers, even tiny RFID tags on pallets. All these devices constantly sending data to the cloud through AWS IoT Core.
Okay. I'm intrigued. What kind of data are we talking about? Just location, or is there more to it?
Location is just the beginning. Imagine getting real-time updates on temperature and humidity for sensitive goods, like pharmaceuticals or fresh produce.
Oh, wow.
You can even get alerts if a package is mishandled or experiences sudden shocks during transit.
So I can basically watch a shipment of fresh strawberries making its way across the country and make sure they arrive perfectly ripe and ready to eat.
That's the idea. But it's not just about watching. AWS IoT Core can also trigger automatic actions based on this real-time data. Let's say those strawberries are getting too warm during transport.
Okay.
The system could automatically alert the driver to adjust the refrigeration, or even suggest a faster alternate route to prevent spoilage.
Whoa. That's incredible. It's like having a super smart logistics assistant working 24/7 to ensure everything runs smoothly. We've gone from stacks of paper and frantic phone calls to a system that can practically think for itself.
That's the power of cloud computing and IoT working together.
Now my mind is racing with the possibilities.
Yeah,
But we're just scratching the surface here, right?
exactly. Zenson Tran goes on to explain how AWS Lambda can take this automation to a whole new level.
Okay, I have to know more. What else can this Lambda wizardry do? Spill the beans.
Well, imagine this. You're at home enjoying your morning coffee when your phone buzzes with an alert. It tells you that the inventory of your best-selling product just dipped below a critical level.
Wow. So I can kiss those last-minute scrambles to restock before a big sale goodbye.
Exactly. Proactive alerts like this can help you avoid stockouts, keep your customers happy, and ultimately, boost your bottom line.
So to recap, we've got all our data neatly organized in S3. We're tracking everything in real time. And we've got Lambda taking care of those routine tasks. What's next in this cloud-powered supply chain revolution?
Next, we dive into the world of data visualization and analysis. AWS offers powerful tools like QuickSight Glue and Redshift to help you make sense of all that valuable information pouring in from your supply chain.
Now we're talking about those fancy dashboards.
Yes.
The ones with all the colorful charts and graphs that make data come alive.
You got it. QuickSight, for example, is like a supercharged spreadsheet program that lets you create interactive dashboards directly from your S3 buckets.
Hold on. So I can visually see things like stock levels, sales trends,
Yeah.
and potential disruptions, all laid out in a clear, easy-to-understand way.
Exactly.
I can already picture myself in the boardroom, confidently presenting these real-time insights, while everyone else is stuck with static reports.
And with Glue and Redshift, you can dive even deeper into the data, running complex queries to uncover hidden patterns and correlations that would be impossible to spot otherwise.
Okay, this is all incredibly impressive, but I have to ask, how does this translate to actual bottom-line results?
Good question.
Everyone wants to know, how does this actually improve a supply chain?
That's the key question, isn't it? Well, imagine using predictive analytics to anticipate a surge in demand for those hot new gaming consoles during the holidays.
Okay, now we're talking my language. Those consoles are always flying off the shelves during the holidays.
Precisely. But with historical data and the right tools, you can forecast that surge, ensuring you have enough stock to meet customer needs and maximize revenue.
No more disappointed kids on Christmas morning. Sign me up.
Exactly.
But beyond happy kids, what other benefits are we talking about here?
Predictive analytics isn't just about avoiding stockouts. It's about optimizing inventory levels throughout the year, reducing waste, and freeing up capital that would otherwise be tied up in unsold goods gathering dust in a warehouse.
So less money wasted and more efficient use of resources. I like the sound.
The book provides a compelling example of how Walmart uses cloud infrastructure to connect their warehouses, stores, and suppliers, ensuring real-time inventory visibility across their entire network.
Wait, so they can see exactly what's on the shelves of every store in real time? That sounds like a game changer.
It is. If a product sells out in one store, the system can automatically trigger an order from the nearest warehouse or even suggest alternative products to customers.
That's impressive. But let's be honest, most companies aren't retail giants like Walmart. They don't have those kinds of resources.
That's a common misconception. Cloud solutions like AWS are designed to be accessible and beneficial to businesses of all sizes.
So even a small business selling handmade soaps online can benefit from these tools.
Absolutely. It's about choosing the right services and focusing on the areas where automation can have the biggest impact for your specific business.
So it's not about replacing humans entirely, but rather giving them superpowers to make better decisions and work more efficiently.
Exactly. And once you start thinking about automation, the possibilities are pretty much endless. AWS offers tools like step functions to orchestrate entire workflows, connecting different services into a seamless process.
Now we're getting really futuristic. Can you paint a picture of what these automated workflows might look like in a real-world scenario?
Imagine a customer placing an order online. The system automatically verifies inventory, confirms the order, schedules delivery, and sends tracking updates, all without any manual intervention.
And meanwhile, I'm sipping my coffee and strategizing about new product lines instead of chasing down order confirmations. I could definitely get used to this. But with all this automation and data flying around, security has to be a major concern, right? I mean, all this data must be a hacker's dream come true.
That's a valid concern, and Tran dedicates an entire section of his book to security compliance and risk management in the cloud.
Okay, so how do we make sure this cloud-powered supply chain doesn't turn into a data breach nightmare?
AWS offers a comprehensive suite of security tools. It starts with IAM, which stands for Identity and Access Management.
So it's like having a super strict digital bouncer at the door of my data center,
Yeah.
making sure only authorized personnel get in.
That's a great analogy. With IAM, you create roles and permissions for each user, controlling exactly what data they can access and what actions they can perform.
No more accidentally giving the intern access to all the financial reports.
Right, precisely. And in case something suspicious does happen, AWS CloudTrail provides a detailed audit log of every single action taken within your AWS environment.
So it's like having a security camera recording every single move, just in case we need to review the footage.
You got it. These logs are not only crucial for security, but also for ensuring compliance with various industry regulations.
This is all starting to sound less like science fiction and more like the future of business. But is this just for giant corporations with massive IT budgets?
Not at all. The beauty of cloud computing is its scalability. You can start small, implementing AWS services gradually, and then scale up as your business grows.
So there's no need to rip and replace my entire system overnight.
Exactly. And the book highlights that cloud solutions can actually reduce costs in the long run.
That's because you're not investing in all that expensive hardware and maintenance.
Right. Precisely. You're shifting from a capital expenditure model to an operational expenditure model, paying only for the resources you use.
And with all the efficiency gains and reduced waste we've talked about, that could result in some serious savings.
The book highlights how Amazon's fully automated fulfillment centers are a prime example of how cloud technology can drive both efficiency and cost savings at a massive scale.
So robots zipping around warehouses, guided by real-time data from the cloud. It sounds incredibly futuristic.
It is, but it's not just about robots. Think about machine learning models forecasting demand spikes and automatically adjusting inventory levels to optimize efficiency.
So even without an army of robots, a small business can still use these tools to make smarter decisions and optimize their operations.
Right. Absolutely. And Zenson Tran encourages readers to think beyond just storage and tracking. He sees data visualization and analytics as essential for truly understanding your supply chain and identifying opportunities for improvement.
So it's not just about having the data. It's
Yeah.
about making that data work for you.
Exactly. And that's where QuickSight really shines. Imagine having a live dashboard that shows you stock levels, sales trends, potential disruptions, all updated in real time.
That's the kind of data-driven decision-making that can give businesses a serious competitive advantage.
And with tools like Glue and Redshift, you can dive even deeper into the data, running complex queries to uncover hidden patterns and correlations that would be impossible to spot otherwise.
So it's like having a team of data scientists working behind the scenes to help me understand my business better.
Could say that. And those insights can be used to improve every aspect of your supply chain, from procurement and transportation to warehousing and customer service.
All right, so we've covered a lot of ground here, from cloud computing and real-time tracking to automation and data analysis. It's a lot to take in.
It is. But the key takeaway is that AWS offers a powerful set of tools that can transform any supply chain, regardless of size or industry.
So what's the one thing you'd want our listeners to remember from this deep dive so far?
I'd say the most important thing is to stop thinking of AWS as just an IT solution.
Because it's really a business transformation tool.
Precisely. The cloud is reshaping supply chains as we know them, and those who embrace it will have a significant competitive advantage.
And those who don't, well, let's just say they might find themselves stuck in the slow lane while the rest of the world zooms ahead.
That's a great way to put it.
So are you ready to take us to the next level of this AWS adventure?
Absolutely. Let's delve into some of the more advanced concepts in Zenson Tran's book, like predictive and prescriptive analytics.
Now we're talking. Stay tuned, deep divers, because things are about to get even more interesting. All right, deep divers. My brain is buzzing with all these possibilities, but I have to admit, this whole concept of predictive analytics still feels a bit like a crystal ball to me. Is it really that accurate?
It's not magic, but it can certainly feel that way. The key is having clean, reliable historical data and understanding the factors that influence demand in your specific industry.
So no more gut feelings and hoping for the best.
Right.
We're talking about data-driven decisions based on real insights.
Exactly. Zenson Tran's book explains how machine learning models trained on massive data sets can identify patterns and trends that humans might miss.
So these models can predict things like future demand for products,
Yes.
potential disruptions in the supply chain, even optimal pricing strategies to maximize profits.
That's the power of predictive analytics. And AWS offers a suite of tools like Amazon Forecast and SageMaker that make it easier than ever to build and deploy these models. You don't need to be a data science whiz to harness the power of prediction.
Wow, that's incredible. It's like having a crystal ball,
Yeah.
but backed by data and powerful algorithms.
Mm.
It seems like we're building a supply chain that can not only react to changes, but anticipate them before they even happen.
That's the ultimate goal, a proactive, resilient supply chain that's always one step ahead.
But hold on. If we can predict the future with this level of accuracy, can we also control it? What happens when a prediction reveals a potential problem?
That's a great question. And it leads us to the next frontier, prescriptive analytics.
Prescriptive analytics, is that like predictive analytics on steroids?
You could say that While predictive analytics tells you what's likely to happen, prescriptive analytics goes a step further.
So it tells us what we should do about it.
Precisely. It takes those predictions and recommends the best course of action to optimize outcomes. It's like having a trusted advisor who not only sees the future, but also guides you on the best path to navigate it.
So if our model predicts a shortage of a key component for our product, prescriptive analytics could suggest several options.
Exactly. Adjusting production schedules to prioritize other products, sourcing the component from alternative suppliers, or even offering customers a pre-order option to manage expectations. It helps you make informed decisions to mitigate risk and keep your supply chain running smoothly.
That takes data-driven decision-making to a whole new level. But is this something that's actually achievable today? Or are we talking about some distant future?
The technology is already here. Tools like AWS step functions can be used to create intelligent workflows that not only react to events, but also execute those prescriptive recommendations. It's about automating those crucial decisions to optimize your supply chain in real time.
So it's not just about having smart algorithms.
Right.
It's about integrating them into our operations so they can actually make things happen.
Exactly. That's where the true transformation lies, bridging the gap between data insights and real-world actions. That's how you create a truly intelligent and adaptive supply chain.
I have to say, this has been an incredible deep dive so far.
Mm.
We've gone from spreadsheets and guesswork to a world where data is king and algorithms are our trusted advisors.
It's definitely an exciting time to be involved in supply chain management. The possibilities are truly transformative.
Okay, so we've talked about predictive and even prescriptive analytics.
Yeah.
But it feels like we're missing something.
You're right. We haven't yet touched upon workflow automation and how that can be used to transform a business.
Oh yeah, workflow automation.
Yeah.
It sounds like we're about to automate everything.
Not quite everything, but close. AWS offers this powerful tool called step functions,
Step function.
which allows you to automate entire business processes.
Okay, so what does that actually mean? What kinds of things can you automate?
Think about all the steps involved in a typical order fulfillment process.
Okay.
A customer places an order on your website. Then you need to verify the order, check inventory levels, process the payment, generate a shipping label, notify the warehouse, and finally send a tracking number to the customer.
Yeah, that's a lot of steps.
It is. And traditionally, many of these steps are done manually, which can be time-consuming and prone to errors.
Right.
Yeah.
So how does AWS step functions streamline all of this?
So with step functions, you can create this visual workflow that orchestrates all these different tasks. It's like a digital choreographer guiding each step of the process, ensuring everything happens in the right order and with the right data.
So it's like having a super efficient robot manager taking care of all the tedious details.
Exactly. And the best part is you can integrate step functions with other AWS services like S3 Lambda and even external systems.
Okay, can you give me a real-world example of how this might work?
Sure. Imagine a customer orders a pair of shoes from your online store. The order information is automatically sent to an S3 bucket. Then a Lambda function triggers a step function workflow.
Okay, and then what happens?
The workflow verifies the order details, checks inventory levels in real time, processes the payment through a secure payment gateway, and then generates a shipping label using a third-party shipping API.
Whoa, so all of that happens automatically without any human intervention.
Exactly. And once the shipping label is generated, the workflow sends a notification to the warehouse to pick and pack the order.
Amazing. So while all of that is happening, I can focus on other important tasks,
Yes.
like developing new products or marketing strategies.
Precisely. Step functions allows you to streamline your operations, reduce manual errors, and free up your team to focus on higher value activities.
This is mind-blowing. It's like taking all those complex manual processes
Yeah.
and transforming them into this beautifully choreographed dance of automation.
That's a great way to put it. And with AWS's user-friendly interface, creating these workflows is surprisingly intuitive, even for non-technical users.
So even a small business owner without a degree in computer science could set up these automated workflows.
Absolutely. AWS makes it accessible to everyone.
This deep dive has been an incredible journey. We've covered everything from cloud computing basics to advanced analytics and automation. What an amazing tool set AWS provides for supply chain professionals.
It is. And as we've seen, AWS can truly transform a business, from the way it manages its data to how it interacts with customers.
But as we wrap up, I think it's important to emphasize that technology is only part of the equation. It's the people behind the technology who ultimately drive success.
Couldn't agree more. AWS provides the tools, but it's up to us to use them wisely and ethically.
So to our listeners out there, don't be afraid to embrace the power of AWS. But remember to keep the human element at the heart of your supply chain strategy.
Well said. Thanks for joining us on this deep dive into the world of AWS and supply chain transformation. Until next time, keep innovating and keep exploring a